Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. It's Sunday, June 11th. I had a couple free hours this afternoon, so I threw my bow in the Jeep, just drove out to Schramm State Park. Was gonna shoot some target practice at the archery range out here and thought I would bring the camera along and show you what the range looks like in case it's something you want to come out and take advantage of. This is the parking lot at the archery range at Schramm State Park. You can either go up to the picnic tables up here and shoot your bow on the range. I'm going to do that for a little bit. Or you can walk down that trail right there. There's some more targets. There's actually an elevated platform that you can shoot off that makes it feel like you're shooting from a tree stand. That's the reason I like to come out here and shoot my bow. And there's a trail through the woods back there that has some targets in it that help you work on range estimation. So I'm gonna go around, shoot my bow for an hour or an hour and a half, and I'll try and take a little footage of it and show you what the range looks like. This is what the first range looks like. It's just targets set up. They're 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60 yards. So there's actually a line painted on the concrete so you know the distance to each target. And I have a little tripod set up right here, so I'm really just going to shoot the 20 and 30 yard targets. I don't really shoot anything over 30 yards with my bow, so I don't like the fact that when you're shooting from that far away, the animals have time to move before the arrow gets the target. So I'm gonna shoot a few arrows into these 20 and 30 yard targets, and then I'm gonna go down and shoot off the platform and then go walk the trail and shoot those targets. Not a bad little grouping for the first day out shooting target practice in the summer. So, the reason I like to come out and shoot target practice out here is if you just walk kind of slow when you're walking around and be quiet, you get to see a little wildlife on the way also. Wouldn't surprise me if we see a deer up on the trail somewhere also. This is what the tower looks like as you're walking up to it. And there's a couple targets out in front of the tower, a couple different distances, so I'm gonna climb up on top of the tower and shoot a couple arrows into the targets. There's a look at the grouping from the top of the tower. I knew it was going to be a little low to the bear because it's about, I think it's about 25 yards. I didn't shoot it with the rangefinder, but I'm pretty sure that target over there is just a little over 20 just by the way it's shooting, 22 or something. Should shoot 20 on the pin. This should shoot 20 on the pin. I was holding my 20-yard pin right at the bottom of the bear. Another thing I like about shooting this archery range out at Schramm Park is the way the range is set up. You shoot down these little tunnels to your targets, but there's also a bunch of trees, cedar trees, paths, tall weeds. There's a little hill back behind the range. You can see the little trail going up the hill right there. This trail or this range sits kind of down in a little U-shaped valley, you know, in a draw. I'm not doing it today. Today I'm just kind of walking and shooting target practice, and just wore whatever I was wearing when I left the house, threw on some hiking boots and left, but grabbed my bow and left. But what I do when it gets closer to hunting season is go through and shoot this range, shoot 5 arrows at each target, but I change how I shoot at each target, either like half standing behind a tree, you know, peeking out from behind a tree, or shooting from your knee, or, you know, I try and give myself realistic hunting shots. You know, sometimes I'll bring one of those little pop-up chairs or a bucket with me, and I'll practice shooting off the chair. You know, just, it's another thing to keep in mind when you're out here shooting on the range, is try and make it as realistic as you can. That's why I was really disappointed when I missed those 2 turkeys with my bow this turkey season, because I try to practice as much as I can and as realistic as I can, and then I got nervous, and I don't know if it was because I was trying to film or what, but just got a little target panic, and then when I missed the first shot, it compounded the second shot and made it even worse. So just try to practice as many real life situations as you can. If you just come out to the target range and stand up and shoot target practice, that's fine. Once in a while, just to build strength or work on form, but you're not going to get to do that in the woods. So it's a pretty good group. I didn't shoot the yardage on this from back there. This was the first arrow I shot, so once I shot that arrow, I kind of knew I was on the right yardage. I guessed it was about 20 yards. I just put my 20-yard pin on it. Looks like a buck in velvet walking through the top part of the range up there. There's also a couple little bridges up in here that get you to some of the targets. Looks like where you hang your bow on here, it looks like the bow hunting club put the metal stakes back a little farther on this target. That would be a really short shot on those turkeys from this trail. There is another trail back behind, up on top of the hill right there too. So I'm actually gonna work my way up to this. I think this is a deer target next, so I'm gonna shoot that one. Since I'm the only one here today, I'm actually going to shoot this antelope target from the deer target spot, just because it makes you shoot through that hole in that deadfall right there. But make me a little nervous, maybe. Just add a little pressure to getting the arrow through that hole. Doesn't look too bad. The last arrow I shot was a little low. I might be getting a little tired. The first arrow I shot was probably the best one. This is the, I think, the first and second arrows that I shot. I know for a fact that this white fletching one with the green and white fletching is the first arrow that I shot. And the reason that I shoot that arrow first, I don't know if you can just bring you up. These arrows are in this quiver the same spot, but this arrow, all of these red and green arrows are like 3/4 of an inch longer than this arrow. This is an old hunting arrow that's the exact same size as the arrows on that I hunt with. So these other arrows are just a little bit longer. I'm just using them up to get rid of some old arrows that I don't use anymore. So I shoot target practice with them, but then I know that since they're just a hair longer, they weigh just a little more, they're going to hit just a little lower than the hunting arrow. That's why when I'm out here shooting this range, I try to shoot this white nap twister fletching arrow first, because that's the arrow that matches my hunting arrows, and I want my first shot to be my best shot, you know. So at least then I can tell what my first shot was when I walk to the target and there's 5 arrows in the target. I always shoot that different colored fletching arrow first, and it tells me how my first shot looked compared to my following 4 shots. So. There's another place you could stand and shoot an arrow between those 2 trees that would make you a little nervous. It looks like that's where the archery club put up their stake to make their members a little nervous when they're shooting, I think. There's another place you could try and shoot that deer target through there. That one would make me a little nervous. You wouldn't have to miss by very much to put an arrow in that tree. This is where you're actually supposed to shoot that white-tailed buck target from. There's another spot you could shoot between a couple of trees. I usually use this one in the fall to shoot around. It's like there's a mountain lion target and another wild boar target. I think they were being funny that the mountain lion is sneaking up on the wild boar. This is another tree right here that you can practice shooting around. I might actually take advantage of that right now. The reason you want to practice doing that on the range is it feels kind of weird the first couple times you do it. Like when you draw your bow behind the tree and then go to take those first couple steps and activate those leg muscles, it almost, your body almost wants to let go of draw. So you really have to focus on holding your bow at draw while you're taking a small step with your feet. You want to get your body around the tree so you keep everything in line, and you also want to, well, I do it, put your pin on target and then also check to make sure that your where your arrow is in your rest is cleared around the tree also. Like, you could be on a knee right here, lean out around this tree, and you might be able to see the target with your sight pins right here, but you might shoot the tree with your arrow right there. And this is the last target on the course. It's always been the kind of the same target. It's almost always a bear, and it's almost always standing up. So it's either like putting its paws up on the tree like it is right now, or the old one like 10 years ago used to face you, so it was like the 30 yards save your life shot. It's target 30, it's 30 yards. It says 30 right on the post. That's why I never forget what it is. If you stand by the stake, it's exactly 30 yards. So I'm gonna shoot this and then head back out. There's what I shot at 30. I actually shot this white arrow last this time. Just spaced how I grabbed him out of there. It just didn't look when I grabbed him. It's like, definitely need to work on the 30 to 35 yard range. That'll come over the summer. I'll get stronger over the summer.